Hi, babes. Welcome to stream. I am talking about the Mexican Grand Prix today, and then I might do a little Halloween activity, but no promises. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about Mexico. It's the Mexican City Grand Prix. Sorry, it's not even the Mexican Grand Prix. Mexican City Grand Prix. But before I do that, can I show you guys one of the pumpkins I carved? Uh, Regardless of your response, I'm gonna show you guys one of the pumpkins I carved. If you follow me on social media, you already saw it. But if you're new here, I'm a big Lance Stroll stan. Like, love the man. Absolutely adore him. So I carved his logo into a pumpkin. And I'm gonna put it on in front of my door. And the Lance Lantern. Yes, exactly. The Lance Lantern for Halloween. Fuck yeah, F1. Yeah, fuck yeah, F1. That is right, Junior. You are correct. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. So Max, of course, had a good start, but can we talk about Lance's start? Because Lance had a pretty banging start, too. Pierre Gasly, 5-second penalty. We'll talk about this in a bit, but that puts him at 10 penalty points, 12 and he gets a race ban. Just saying. I don't understand why he didn't just give the position back. I guess it's because Albon was right there, but like, I don't know. The penalty points being like so close to a race ban is scary. It's very rare that you hear Lewis say, "My tires are fine," so it's usually my tires are dead, but they're good now, so they're okay. Mm-hmm. They're trying a different strategy than Red Bull. Good job, SD. Although a lot of you might think that Lance is my favorite driver, SD is actually my favorite driver. So close. That was so close. Poor Yuki. Poor Yuki. Alonso was doing so well up until this point, too. He was, like, comfortably ahead of Ocon. And Danny Rick was like, alright, 10-second penalty, let me get as many places as I possibly can right now. Fernando Alonso sure has had a lot of bad luck with reliability issues with the Alpine. Really sucks. Terrible season. I hate it because I want to see Alpine do well because I like both of their drivers, but they're just not. He's so okay. I'm sorry, but the engine, like, this is ridiculous. How many times does this have to happen with Alpine? When the car doesn't have reliability issues, both of the drivers do well. When there's not issues, they have two consistent drivers, but not a consistent car, and it's very frustrating, especially as someone who wants to see them do well. It's so annoying. Easy GG's. Max Verstappen is so incredibly talented. I know he has the best car, but even like his teammates, his teammate can't keep up with him, you know? It's just Max is very talented. Of course, pretty much whoever wins a championship most of the time is going to have the best car on the grid. That's just how it works. If you win the championship, you have the best car. But the gap to his teammate is amazing. He's 14 wins in a season. That's also kind of insane. And Checo gets that podium. 4 out of 10 for this race. There was some stuff going on in the midfield, but there wasn't too much going on in general in the race. I'm not the biggest fan of this track. I think this track is a bit of a snoozer. Yeah. Still happy to see Max win. Hamilton on the podium again. Perez on the podium, of course. At his home Grand Prix, it's nice to see. And Danny Rick doing his thing. Got to see him racing. It's been a while since we got to see it, but I'm very happy about that. Driver of the day was Danny Rick. I guess he deserved it, but also he did take Yuki out, so But then he had an amazing race, but I don't know. I guess, who else would I have given driver of the day to besides him? Max? That's boring, you know? So I guess I get it, but also... he took a driver out and got driver of the day. Imagine if Lance Stroll took someone out and then had a good race. He would not get driver of the day. SD wouldn't either, probably. It would have to be a driver that people like that could do that and still get driver of the day. And people do love Danny Rick. For good reason. Yeah, let's go through the teams and just chat a little bit. Red Bull, Max had a great weekend. Put it on pole, and then won the race. Pretty solid drive, good strategy from Red Bull. Perez getting that podium. It was a good weekend overall for Red Bull. Very good weekend. It was a good weekend for Mercedes too. Hamilton podium. They just maybe going to the hards and trying a one-stop wasn't the best strategy with the hards, but they did it, and I think no matter what Mercedes did, Max was going to win that race. Genuinely, I think Max would have won regardless. The Red Bull had the pace and he was killing it. Sorry, don't mind me. Ferrari had a pretty bad weekend. Bottas outqualified Leclerc. Sainz had a better weekend. He was comfortably ahead of his teammate. But yeah, it was not great for Ferrari at all. Pretty garbage weekend for Ferrari. Great weekend, however, for McLaren. McLaren double points, especially with that battle for fourth in the constructors between Alpine and McLaren is going to come down to the wire. I'm hoping Alpine edges them out. As much as I do like McLaren, I like the two drivers at Alpine better than I like the two drivers at McLaren. But yeah, that'll come down to the wire, and Ricciardo killed it. He just had the pace this weekend, and we love to see it. We really do. Alpine, Team L of the weekend. Alpine. What the fuck? Actually, what? They could have been such great points, and Alonso was killing it. I still think Alonso had a better weekend overall than... He had better race pace, he outqualified his teammate. I do think he did better overall than Ocon, but he didn't finish the race. And it's not his fault, he's gotten unlucky. And if you ask him, he's lost like 400 points this season due to reliability issues. If you ask him. Something like that, like 300, 400, you know. Because he's a little dramatic. But he had lost a lot of points for reliability issues. Not as many, maybe not as many as he says, but a lot. Bottas was killing it this weekend. Alfa Romeo outqualified Leclerc, finished 9th? 10th? 10th. I was off by 1. I just like moved everyone. Who was I just? Oh, I forgot about Leclerc. I forgot about him. I was like, I moved everyone up 1. It's Leclerc. But yeah, Bottas did well. It's like he hasn't scored points in a minute, in a solid minute. And he's back scoring points. Good for him. Well, a point. 1 point. Pierre Gasly now has 10 penalty points. 10. If you get 12, you get a race ban. This is not a good look, only considering he is going to a new team next year. So since he's going to a new team next year, these points aren't coming off of his super license until May, I think. I'm not sure exactly when in May, but I know it's May. So he's going to be going to a new team with these penalty points. Unless he gets 2 more before the end of the season, then he gets a race ban this season. And then you won't have to worry about it when he goes to a new team. But is any driver going to purposefully get a penalty and a race ban? Probably not. So there's a very high chance that he is going to a new team with these points hanging out there. Now we have to talk about Williams. Albon did well with the car he has. Close to points, but not quite in points. We've heard the story before with him. He lapped his teammate. Latifi was lapped by Albon, his teammate. The same car. I'm so glad he's leaving. Oh my god, I'm so happy he won't be in F1 next year. He obviously doesn't deserve the seat. If he's being lapped by his teammate. Like, and is 50 something seconds behind someone who was having issues? Was having technical issues with his car? Magnussen. Yeah, that 58 seconds. Not quite a minute behind, but... Happy Halloween! Thanks, Shay! Happy Halloween to you, too! Aston Martin didn't have a great weekend. Lance was complaining about the car. Vettel didn't do well. Yeah, but they were there. Haas also had a weekend. They were there. Haas was there. And didn't do well. But they were there! They had a weekend. They raced. Kind of. Let's talk about some not this race stuff. FP1, we had our boy, for the Americans here, our boy, Logan Sargeant. Not, like, he needed one more lap to get the extra super license point, and Williams just said, come in. You don't need that extra lap. I think they were having some issues with the car, but also... that is such a blunder on the team. Like, that's so... Imagine if it's 1 point he misses out on being able to drive an F1 by. I still think he'll be able to drive an F1. I think he'll get enough points in the end of the season. But imagine if it was 1 and it was because of this. Oh my god. Oh my god. That would make great headlines. That would be so funny though. I'd do a whole video about it. And I'd laugh. Max isn't talking to Sky Sports because he does not like the oh, not just Max. All of Red Bull, sorry. All of Red Bull is not talking to Sky Sports right now because of Ted Kravitz saying that Lewis Hamilton was robbed. Repeatedly. And because he won't stop talking about Abu Dhabi 2021. And we haven't even raced there this year yet, so Max is tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. Most of us are tired of hearing about it, and we're gonna hear about it a lot. I'm gonna stay off of Twitter that week, because F1 Twitter is a crazy place. And we stand Red Bull. I like Max Verstappen a lot. I think he's very... I know most people would disagree. I think he has a very likable personality. I like how straightforward he is, because that's how I am. I'm kind of... people think I'm coming across as rude, but I don't think I'm coming across as rude. Max is kind of like that. So, but I do stand that Red Bull is standing behind their driver and not talking to Sky Sports because their driver feels disrespected. That is pretty good. Pretty good. The Alonso Hamilton drama continues. It always continues. It always continues. And I love it. I love this little rivalry they have. Alonso Hamilton, Alonso said that Max Verstappen's championships are more well-earned type of thing than Lewis's because Lewis only had to battle with teammates. Max had to battle with people from other teams. Alonso was a little salty because he said it was taken out of context and all that stuff. But he still did say these things. So if Alonso doesn't want things taken out of context, he probably shouldn't talk to media, because they're always going to take things out of context. That's just how media is. They need these headlines. And then Hamilton posted a picture on Twitter of Hamilton on the top step and Alonso on the podium, not on the top step, and just captioned it with a thumbs up. And Twitter blew up about it. Of course, like, it's banter. It's not just, like, it's jokes, guys. It's not just, like, it's not that deep, guys. It's not that deep. People are, like, taking it, like, really hard. It's jokes. Relax. It's fine. It's funny. I am enjoying it. You know, if I ever need to find, like, a good, like, video topic, I just need to look through Alonso's interviews and, like, find any journalist who's asked him anything about Lewis Hamilton, so I can find something, you know? And I can just make a whole video based around that if I, like, run out of things to talk about. I cannot end this section of stream, this F1 section of stream, without talking about... Where's she even come up here? My cat, apparently, because she's gonna... Ooh, big jump! Good girl. I am a Magic the Gathering... Okay, I'm sorry. I am a Magic the Gathering fan, but it's not Urza, like, that Urza. She's named after Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. You know, the anime. But I do play Magic. And people... See, what I usually say, I didn't even think of that one. I usually say Urza, like from Fairy Tail, not Ursa, like from Dota 2. I didn't even think of Urza from Magic. You need to stop pulling my shirt down. She's trying to get me banned. This isn't the first time she's done this. She wants to lay on my boobs. I know, it's hard. It's hard being you. Come here. Oh, is this better? Okay. So, Red Bull. Urza, can I talk about Red Bull? Am I allowed to now? I love you. I was just gonna try and lick my lips, and I have lip gloss, so that would not be good. Red Bull got 10% of their aero time taken away. Aero testing time. Yep, it's true. And they got a fine that they have to pay. And a lot of people think that it's not harsh enough, but Red Bull's upset. And Red Bull's upset, but the other teams are also upset. So I guess that's, like, a good thing that everyone's upset about it. Christian Horner is convinced that they're going to lose a lot of time based on not having as much aero testing time. So yeah, I think it's a tough one about whether or not I think it's fair, because I obviously don't think that Max should have gotten his championship taken away, because Max just drove. Like, he's part of the team, yes, but he's not in charge of spending. He just drove, you know? So it kind of would suck if he, especially like almost a whole year later, getting your title taken away would suck. It's the first year of the cost cap, so I think that's part of the reason that they're not as harsh as they could have been. But Red Bull is also the only team that did go over the cost cap. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, because I'm not quite sure. I think I understand where they're coming from, but I do think if you overspend, you should get a harsh penalty so nobody else wants to ever, you know, try to overspend. So yeah, that's it for F1 for today.